Welcome back to another episode of Three Blue Trucks. Today, in this episode, we are trying to put the bed back on Old Blue after we've done the work with fuel tanks, fuel pumps. So watch as we try to figure out how we're going to get a bed, as heavy as it is, back on with only 3 bodies. Okay, so for those that are wondering what we're doing, the goal here is to actually, hopefully, if this works, we're going back Old Blue to right about there somewhere. That's why we put the bumper down, and we're going to try to lay the bed back onto the back and then kind of lift and scoot just a little bit at a time till we get it exactly where we need to. Turns out that it's actually a little easier pulling the bed off than it is getting back on. That thing is heavy. So I guess we'll see what we can do. Here goes nothing, right? It was about this moment that we realized that we were not going to be able to just roll the bed onto the truck with the bumper the way it was situated. So we came up with a game plan now to go ahead and unbolt the rest of the bumper and move it completely out of the way to aid in getting the bed back onto the truck.
All right, let me show you what we got done so far.
Hey, look, Old Blue got a lift. Hey, not really.
So here's what we did. Basically, I've just got, obviously we took the back bumper off, make things easier to actually kind of just tilt it back over. So we're gonna have to go and put that back bumper back on there. But then we also lifted it and set it currently on some bricks right now. And you say, well, why would you put it on bricks? Well, one, helps us to move it a little bit more to kind of get it where it needs to be. But also, well, right now, fuel filler necks are down there. But of course, we got to get them up to here. So in order to keep from pinching them off, getting them pinched between the bed and the frame, we got them bricks there to kind of help hold it up. So now all we got to do is get them kind of tied in. Ooh, I gotta get a what you call it, hose clamp on that one. Oh, kind of forgot it. We got an extra hose clamp there that goes right there. That'll hold that fuel filter neck in. There's another one there for the rear. Get those attached back in place. And then we can drop the bed down kind of one side at a time, and then we'll start adjusting. So that's kind of where we're at now though. So that's how you do it with tree people. May not be the right way, may not be the best way, but that's our way for now. All right, so we're gonna try to get in here and get this fuel lines connected, fuel fillers or whatever, and get things lined up as best we can. Well, before I do that, I'll show you this little creeper thing. That's something my daughter got me for Christmas this year, and that's a pretty neat little setup. I don't know if anybody else ever seen one of these or not. I think I saw one on somebody's video not long ago, but it's a creeper and a stool in one. So just gonna pull the pin and plop. Now you got a creeper roll up underneath the vehicle, or like I said, pull that pin and set it back up, and presto, I got me a nice little seat to sit on. So shout out to my daughter for finding that for me for Christmas. That thing has come in handy a couple times already, so I do love her. Okay, so jump ahead here. Sorry, we didn't get it filmed. We should have, and of course, once again, I don't film when I'm supposed to. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts in the bed. Still haven't got our gas tanks, our fuel filler necks, whatever, lined up. So we're gonna try getting that now. Realized I was gonna have to drop it off the bricks to be able to get it that far. I was not gonna reach. But we got those lined up, so at least all the bolts are through the holes. I even remember my spacers, so I'll show that a little bit later here. You know, maybe there's something on that too. But yeah, just 6 bolts, bolting this down. A couple of fuel filler necks and a couple of, well, actually not even the taillights. We didn't have to pull the taillights out. We just did initially because we weren't sure how that was coming out. And it just connects underneath. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So keep moving on. And hey, look, there's Grayson again, coming to check out our work, making sure we're doing good work. What do you smell, Grayson? What do you smell? Hi. Hi, kitty. Come say hi. You know, come say hi. No, just checking things out. All right. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna try and get this gas filler neck in here, sliding up on the seat here. Okay, all right, so let's see if we can get this fuel filler neck. Of course, this is the one we replaced. So this will be the first time I'm trying to thread any of these screws in. I don't know how tight they're gonna be. Come on, line up. Come here. Come here. Grab on. No. Okay, stop for now. Okay, first thing we're gonna try and do here, I'm gonna try and get this fuel filler line bracket in place. Oh, look at there. That helps. Get that in there. And then, whoa, that's kind of got us a little out of whack. Yeah, we got a little bit of distance to make up on that, but we're gonna figure out if we can get this distance made up and get these holes lined up here and get this old fuel filler neck in place. Let's see if we can get this one of these holes here. That's, I think our fuel filler neck's too short. Just kidding. It's not too short. It's just might not have been put in the exact right place. But get this thing started here. I am not lined up on these holes whatsoever. Okay, I gotta check if these holes are even threaded first. So here you go.
So here I pulled the neck a little back out and actually threaded the screws into it first, made it a little easier going in, as the back one was pretty easy because that was still the existing fuel filler neck. As you can see, Jeremiah's having no problem doing it there at all.
Alright, we're getting close to getting ready to bolt this thing up. Just trying to take a look. Eyeballing everything. It looks pretty good and straight. I mean, all the holes lined up, so I would think that would mean it's straight, but you know, sometimes they may have to move. But looking down the lines, looks like the body's pretty good and straight, so say about as straight as the factory's gonna make it look, huh? Looks like the right kind of a gap, roughly. I don't know what the spec is on that. It does look like it's a little higher for some reason on the back over here, but there were spacers on there, so I put the spacers back in again. I think those came from the factory. I think if you remember those from my pressure washing. And yeah, it looks a little higher on this side too, so that could just be because it ain't bolted down, tightened down yet. So we're gonna do that though. We're gonna get ready to tighten it down now. All right, so these are the nuts for the bolts. Like I said, 6 bolts. Longest ones up front. These two have square shoulders, and then the shorter ones in the back. And these are the nuts. And you know, because you know, America, because Ford, because whatever, I don't know. I thought these were 3/4, but no, they're 18 millimeter, wherever that's at on the socket there. But anyhow, 18 millimeter. So, yep, we're gonna go ahead and get to putting these puppies on. We already got the back 2 already fastened in place a little bit, so I'm just gonna tighten them down a little more. Not overly snugging them yet, but we'll go ahead and get them kind of in place a little bit better. Sorry about that, about to drop my camera there. Alright. Got them tightened down a little bit, so we're going to get to the underside here. Alright, going to use my creeper again. This time in actual creeper fashion. Oh, sorry, that sounds a little weird, I guess. Don't want to be a creeper, but I'm going to use a creeper if it rolls. Hey, look, there's Jeremiah. Here we go, underneath. Let's see if it's not hopefully too dark. Where are my bolts? Hey, there's one of them right there. See it? Of course not. It's not light enough to see yet. But we're gonna go ahead and snug you down. Always be ready for anything and everything falling as you try to tighten things up. Yeah, I'm gonna remove my extension here. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Where did it go? Okay, it's there. It's a little, you can't really see, but that one's there. All right, let's go find the other guy. All right, so we're gonna tighten up this little bolt here. This is the last bolt basically, but this one's a little bit of a booger because of the fuel tank kind of being a little bit in the way. But I'm kind of just speaking. Jeremiah's actually the one underneath there, but he can show you where the bolt is. And putting it on, he says, it's not quite as hard as just taking it off, but I guess taking it off was definitely a little more difficult. We had to get in there with the impact pack to break it free, but it finally got get that tight. And that'll pretty much do it for ours. Okay, getting ready to put the bumper on, and figured I would take care of. That was some blue paint. You can still kind of see a little bit of it, but I had a little bit left still from doing the frame black paint. So you know what? Throw some black paint over the blue. At least it doesn't stand out quite as much. And still just a smidge right there. And that's how you make it look better in the meantime. Yeah, think a little bit of down there. But yep, we're gonna put the bumper on now. All right, so that is how you put a bumper back on 90 F-150. Other models are probably similar. Okay, so anyways, just to kind of show you real quick, like we're gonna wrap this thing up here, but there are 2 bolts underneath on each side of the bumper that basically hold it in place. This one here, you undo that, there's a nut on the other side. You loosen that one, it allows the bumper to kind of pivot down underneath. Otherwise, but you got 2 bolts there and 2 on the other side. One with a nut, one goes into the threaded portion of the frame. And so we're about wrapped up now. Got the bed on the truck, did a tailgate, bumper. Looks like it's sitting a little bit higher, but looks good under there now too, with that fresh coat of paint on the frame, pressure washed up there. Still needs a little bit more work on there, but you know what? Looks a lot better. I think it'll last a few more years. Looking good. Still gotta get the bed liner back in there maybe, or I don't know, maybe even get it rhino lined. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. Next project though, of course you can kind of see it's sitting a little low in the front. Oh, but I think our shocks definitely in the front might be, I don't know, what do you think? Bad? Something going a little wrong on that, but anywho, I don't think I'm supposed to be able to twist that by hand, but don't tell anybody. Yeah, so next thing, put some new shocks on the front, and of course we do still have our engine issues. We're gonna look into those some more too, but just trying to get the truck back together again for now, and we'll proceed with that a little bit later. So with that, that's gonna conclude this episode for Three Blue Trucks, I guess. We'll see what the next episode holds. Like I said, got to do some shocks. Still got to figure out that problem with the truck, whether or not it's actually got a head gasket leak or not. Had several people tell me, you know, just check it again, change the oil and stuff. I did check the oil again, and now it doesn't necessarily look so milky, chocolate milk or whatever. So maybe there's not an issue there or whatever, but I know we do still have a stumbling problem. So it could be compression, could be EGR valve, I think is another thing I looked at. So we're gonna probably try that and maybe do a compression test as well. Go ahead and change the oil out and put fresh in there, see what it does, and just kind of go from there, see what we got to do. Anyways, thanks for watching, and y'all have a blessed day.